Included in the more than $13 billion package, enhanced background checks for gun buyers under 21. It prevents partners convicted of domestic abuse from purchasing guns. It gives incentives for states to pass red flag laws and provides funds for school security and mental health services. But the bill does not include a ban on assault weapons.
The motion is adopted.
It passed with bipartisan support, 14 Republicans joining Democrats in the House on Friday, one day after 15 Republicans joined Democrats to support the legislation in the Senate.
Understand and know that this bill does not answer all of our prayers, but this is hope in moving forward to keep our communities safe from unnecessary gun violence.
The president thanking the families of victims of gun violence who led the way in getting this law passed.
Their message to us was do something. I don't know how many times we heard that. Just do something. For God's sake, just do something. Well, today we did.
On July 11th, the White House is scheduled to host those families along with lawmakers who supported the bill to mark this historic law. This new law comes on the heels of a Supreme Court ruling that declared New York State limits on carrying concealed handguns in public is unconstitutional, a decision that could impact other states. 80 million Americans live in states with proper cause requirements similar to New York. Alex Brachet, ABC News, Washington.
And Nebraska's 2 representatives in Congress originally voted against this bill. And both Republicans and Democrats in the 1st Congressional District are pushing for all Nebraskans to vote at the upcoming election on Tuesday.
We are trying to get the word out that this is a key vote on Tuesday. It will be the first time that the nation will see a vote after Roe v. Wade being overturned. So the right to privacy is on the ballot.
While Mike Flood feels if you want to support the Supreme Court's decision, then you need to go out and vote on Tuesday to continue that support.
And the fact that people are participating in this election tells me that both sides are getting their voters out. I need people to get out and vote on Tuesday. There's a lot of people that don't know there's even an election on Tuesday. They have to go to where they usually go to vote.
And these special elections will be held this Tuesday, June 28th, and make sure you check your voter registration card to see where your polling place is located, and stay tuned to Channel 8 News as we will have team coverage on election night. Now, the Fallbrook State Office building was officially unveiled on Friday, with a few state officials and Governor Pete Ricketts there for the ceremonial ribbon cutting. A few state departments will be officially moving into this building, and they say it will make doing business with our state easier and turn it into a one-stop shop for international business. The offices that these departments used to occupy at the other state office building will now be used by the Department of Health and Human Services.
At the end of the day, it's going to be impacting not just the 8 agencies that we have here, but also the Department of Health and Human Services. Because by moving some of our agencies from the state office building to this location, we are freeing up space there to be able to bring more of our teammates in Department of Health and Human Services together so they can have better communication, facilitate those meetings, and so forth.
Jason Jackson, the director of the Department of Administrative Services, says that moving these agencies together under one roof will save taxpayers around $700,000 each year by not having to pay for multiple building leases. And now let's check in with meteorologist Malcolm Byron. Malcolm, a little wet and cool start to our day today.
Yeah, some showers and thunderstorms rolling on by this morning. Most of us are dry with one exception. We'll show you that in just a moment. I do want to show you some of the rainfall totals. Only 2 107-inch reported at Lincoln Airport. Central Saline County saw a good amount of rainfall as one storm flared up throughout the morning. I think in Central Saline County we saw about an inch in the few locations. 6,207-inch in Aurora, just shy of half an inch in Hastings. So some locations saw a little bit more than others. At this point in Lincoln, we're dry. Outlook Communications, you've never looked better. Mix of sun and clouds. I'd say partly cloudy at this point right now. Want to show you radar near Thayer and Jefferson counties. There's one little shower that has just cropped up near Hebron, moving off to the northeast. This is the exception as opposed to the rule. As you'll see, most of southeast Nebraska has no rain to concern themselves with. I don't think Lincoln will see a lot of rain this evening. 84 degrees right now at Lincoln Airport, 81 in Beatrice, 77 in York, and 79 right now in Grand Island. And for the rest of this evening, we'll keep some clouds around, 75 by 9, 69 by 11. You may have noticed it's been humid this morning, but not so much now. That's going to continue to drop. We'll have more details on how long that pattern stays in just a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Malcolm. And with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, many are asking how this affects Nebraska residents. Channel 8's Macy Neumeister spoke to both candidates about what Friday's SCOTUS decision meant to them.
Many anti-abortion supporters gathered early Saturday morning at the Nebraska GOP headquarters to hear from congressional candidate Mike Flood.
I think it's important that people know that, yes, I am pro-life and I'm against abortion. But in 2012, when the issue was, should we provide prenatal care to low-income women, a number of people in my party were against that expense. I was for it. I was for a pro-life position when it was difficult, as opposed to when everybody's on the same side. And so I think my record on abortion is absolutely clear. Like, I believe we must protect the unborn child.
And pro-abortion supporters met at the Lincoln Children's Zoo to hear from Democratic congressional candidate Patty Pansing Brooks.
Real concerns with the overturn of Roe v. Wade is the fact that the concurring opinion by Justice Thomas indicated that he also wants to make it so that birth control is not legal, which is crazy to almost 90% of Americans. Also, in vitro fertilization, so a young couple trying to have and start a family would not be able to use in vitro fertilization, and a DNC.
Community members rallied with their candidates, showing support by helping them go door to door, placing signs and making phone calls.
Something interesting happened this morning. I was watching the sunrise, and it was the first time in my lifetime I had the chance to watch the sunrise. And Roe versus Wade was no longer the law of the land.
If we don't try to work and support our Constitution, our precious democracy, then it's all over. But you know that. That's why you're here today. And that's why you continue the fight.
Many are still asking questions on what will happen next here in Nebraska.
We have the opportunity, and might I add the obligation, to demonstrate to the rest of America that Nebraska is pro-life, that Nebraska's 1st Congressional District is pro-life.
This isn't just about me, this is about all Americans. And I want all people to stand up, come together, and vote and recognize.
Yes, and after the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, protests and rallies are being held across the country this weekend. From coast to coast, feelings of anger and excitement are brewing following the court's decision. Massive protests are being held in cities like Boston, New York, and beyond. President Biden condemned the decision, and other Democrats criticized the ruling.
It's a slap in the face to women about using their own judgment to make their own decisions about their reproductive freedom.
The 6-3 decision for the court's conservative majority upheld Mississippi's abortion ban after 15 weeks. 13 states have trigger laws ending abortion access now that Roe is overturned, and 13 more states are now expected to move quickly to ban abortion, while state leaders in Nebraska don't seem to be in too much of a hurry to make any changes just yet. And still to come, the latest on the war in Ukraine. Stay with us.
We have a heavy hitter at Shore Volkswagen. Lease an Atlas SE 4Motion starting at $439 a month and hit a home run at Shore Volkswagen. Visit us today and reserve your favorite Volkswagen and pick it up when it arrives. All at Shore Volkswagen, where you come first.
All right, bring it in. The July 4th sale at Furniture Row is on now, and I want to see some serious hustle out there. Because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Breeze mattresses and get a $300 gift. Plus, get 5 years no-interest financing. Who's got the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed? Furniture Row! All right, let's see some fireworks out there. That's just a metaphor. The July 4th sale, only at Furniture Row.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I want to see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Being a Lincoln original, we get what others don't. The Scarlet and Cream, snacks for the big game, pepperoni and cream cheese pizza, two-finger waves, buying corn off the bed of a pickup, riding trails around town with family. We Nebraskans are proud of our local habits. Thank you for making us one of them. Fueling Lincoln for over 60 years.
You stop at You Stop. We have a heavy hitter at Shore Volkswagen. Lease an Atlas SE 4Motion starting at $439 a month and hit a home run at Shore Volkswagen. Visit us today and reserve your favorite Volkswagen and pick it up when it arrives. All at Shore Volkswagen, where you come first.
After weeks of brutal battle, Ukraine is ordering forces to retreat in a key eastern city. ABC's James Longman takes us there now.
This morning, a crucial fight in the battle for the Donbass in eastern Ukraine. Russia on the brink of claiming the entire Luhansk region, one of Putin's main objectives. Ukrainian resistance battered in Severodonetsk, the local governor even saying it doesn't make sense to hold on, given the number of killed will increase almost daily. And as the battle rages in the east of the country, Ukraine is one step closer to joining the European Union. The European Council granting candidate status to Ukraine and Moldova for potential EU membership that could be years before they actually join the organization.
This is a very defining moment and a very good day for Europe.
President Zelensky addressing EU leaders, recognizing the importance of the decision, saying, "You have made one of the most critical decisions for Ukraine for all 30 years of our country's independence." This comes as the first HIMARS artillery systems from the US arrive in Ukraine. The weapons are highly advanced medium-range artillery systems that can launch missiles up to 48 miles away. Ukraine hopes these will change the tide of battle in the Donbass region. The Ukrainian defense minister warning summer will be hot for the occupiers. The Biden administration now pledging an additional $450 million in military aid to Ukraine, including even more HIMARS systems.
The United States will continue to bolster Ukraine's defenses and support its sovereignty and its territorial integrity.
Russia may soon have a symbolic victory in Severodonetsk, but they've used a huge amount of manpower and resources to get there. The next target, likely the south. We've seen a huge build-up in forces there. James Longman, ABC News in Kharkiv, eastern Ukraine.
Tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day weather-wise, but summer does return at some point. Also, the 4th of July is day 9 of day 10. We'll have a look at that in the 10-day outlook coming up after the break.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kind of got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Pay no interest on Buick SUV models.
Visit these Central Nebraska Buick dealers.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day, this lecture hall will be made of code. And though they're virtual students, what they'll learn together is real. A surgeon will be able to practice as many times as needed in the metaverse before laying her hands on a real patient. These students aren't really back in 32 BCE, but they can still watch Mark Antony debate in ancient Rome. The metaverse may be virtual, but the impact will be real.
Spiraling inflation, higher prescription drug prices, and a Supreme Court assault on women's rights. Nebraskans need a champion. Now, on June 28th, we can send Patty Pansing-Brooks to Congress to stand up for us. Patty Pansing-Brooks has always been a champion for Nebraska, protecting our farms, families, and small businesses.
I'm Patty Pansing-Brooks, and I approve this message because I'm the only candidate for Congress who will defend women's rights and fight inflation. Please vote on June 28th.
When Mother Nature is at its worst, the Storm Alert team gets to work, giving live looks as conditions move in and tracking dangers down to the minute for your safety. When skies darken, the Storm Alert team is here for you.
I went on many tours. I went all over Lincoln. This was the place that I got drawn to because of the people. I thought it was a perfect fit for us, so I can look back in retrospect and say, you know, I think I hit a home run on this one.
A Colorado restaurant has a futuristic solution to its labor shortage problem and to deal with the flood of business coming from the Stanley Cup Finals. Micah Smith tells us more.
The bar is packed. Avs fans are pumped, but there aren't enough servers to keep the good times rolling.
If you're not at the game, you want to be here.
Enter the robot server at Tom's Watch Bar in McGregor Square.
It's completely different than what we have here in the U.S.
Tom's Watch Bar operating partner Rafik Turkanovich says it may not look like much, but this robot can do quite a bit.
Definitely capable of going from one station to the next, delivering dishes, delivering food if necessary, and then going back to his home station.
Turkanovich says, like many restaurants throughout the city, they're having a tough time finding workers. When you add in the amount of Stanley Cup business the restaurant's been getting, they need help.
We did this just to help alleviate some of the labor pressure.
So on standing room only days at the restaurant, the robot will be put to work.
We have pretty strict ADA regulations, and that robot essentially follows that lane, right, and it has great maneuvering capabilities.
Turkanovich says the robot isn't a cost-saving measure and won't replace human servers.
Not saving money, but to help our employees.
So the next time the Avs score, those celebratory drinks or eats may come courtesy of Tom's Watch Bar's newest employee.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
And I am the robot meteorologist. Hey, David City, you had a rude awakening this morning. One lone severe thunderstorm cropped up. We had several reports of golf ball size hail in and around David City. Even one baseball size hail report. That was the only severe thunderstorm we had to deal with this morning. Right now, most of us are dry. The second half of the day fared off a lot drier with the exception of one location, and we'll look at radar again in a few minutes. Groundworks camera right now looking off towards the Capitol. We've got a mix of sun and clouds, some high clouds moving on by. Temperatures are in the middle 80s in Lincoln, 84 degrees at Lincoln Airport, 81 in Beatrice, 82 in Wahoo, and we got upper 70s out towards the Tri-Cities, 79 in Grand Island, and 78 in Hastings. Now, the humidity doesn't feel all too bad in Lincoln, but it did earlier today. We just needed a little bit of push here. And there goes the humidity. Off it goes. Bye-bye. Now, for some, it is still humid. Out in Fall City, we still have dew points in the lower 70s, 60s out in Beatrice and Nebraska City, but upper 50s for dew points in Lincoln. We've got lower values off to the north, and you see these northerly winds. That's ushering in a less humid air mass, so even if it's still humid in Beatrice, not for too much longer. The humidity will continue to decline as the night wears on. So here are those clouds over satellite imagery, although we are watching a couple of very isolated showers moving through the far southern portions of Nebraska. And if you draw a trajectory here, I guess we can't technically rule these out for Beatrice, but I think Lincoln will be dry for the rest of the evening, and slowly but surely these will drift off towards the south as a cold front is well off to our southeast, and as it pulls away from us, these rain chances will likely come to an end. So we are trending drier for the evening, especially into tomorrow as well. A stormcast going into the overnight hours actually tries to clear us out a little bit, and I think we may see some partial clearing in the overnight hours. Some models even keeping us mostly clear at some points. That is certainly a possibility, but there's still some more clouds off to the west in the overnight hours. Yeah, and those will be with us for the day on Sunday. So we'll go partly to mostly cloudy for the day on Sunday. High temperatures, we'll show you those in just a moment. 57 degrees tonight, some clearing. It's cool and crisp. We've got low humidity going overnight and into tomorrow morning. That low humidity sticks around for the day on Sunday. 79 degrees. This is a below average high temperature. Despite the cloud cover, tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day outside. Now, let's look at the upper air pattern. Here's that hot dome that's been influencing our weather over the last several days, and that just kind of wimps out as we go in towards tomorrow. That's why we have cooler temperatures in the forecast, and we're really not under the influence of a hot dome going into Monday either, so Monday is also going to be a very nice day. But we've got a new hot dome building off towards the west, which slides eastward as we head towards midweek, and as a result, temperatures will climb. We're talking temperatures in the upper 80s on Tuesday, 90s on Wednesday, maybe even nearing triple-digit heat for some on Thursday, and where you see 90s, we're also going to have humidity there as well. So we are going to return to a more summer-like pattern as we go in towards next week. But for the next 2 days, very nice. 79 tomorrow, 83 on Monday. We've got low humidity for both of those days. Sunny skies on Tuesday, 88 degrees, and I don't think it'll be too humid on Tuesday, but the humidity will be starting to climb. It will feel humid on Wednesday, also very warm, 93 degrees, mostly sunny skies, and then our warmest day on Thursday. pattern turns a little bit more unsettled as we go towards the end of the work week and starting July on Friday. Some scattered storm chances, scattered storms on Saturday as well. As of now, long-term computer model guidance suggesting that the 4th of July looks dry, but also very warm. Of course, that is day 9 of day 10. We've still got quite a bit of time until we actually get there, so we'll have to fine-tune that forecast over the next several days. But right now, good news, 4th of July looks dry.